before we jump into it, let me give you a quick life hack. If you listen to this on 1.5 speed or even 2x, I bet you will still be able to understand me perfectly, and you'll also be able to get this material digested much faster. So save some time, turn this on 1.5 or even 2x, and let's rip through this material together, and hopefully it'll be able to save you some time and earn you a little extra money. Real estate is one of the best ways to make passive income while also building wealth through the appreciation of your portfolio. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get in the real estate game for as little as 100 bucks. No skills, like no construction skills, nothing like that required, and you don't even need to be an accredited investor. Welcome to Creating Cashflow. My name is Dallin Wardrop, and this show is all about me taking my portfolio from $0 a month to $1 million a month. Also, my heartfelt appreciation for all those that have started following me on the different podcast channels and on YouTube. Also, all the likes, comments, all much appreciated. So thank you. Now let's get into it. So hopefully by now you're listening to this on 1.5 speed or even 2x speed, and I sound really smart. But to kick this video off, first of all, I want to say this video is not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with this company in any way other than the fact that they've won some of my money in terms of I invested with them, but it's not like I'm a part owner of the company. Essentially, what their product is turns you into an investor. So I am invested with them. You watching this video, you going to this company, anything like that does not benefit me in any way at all. So that's the first thing I want to say. And as a disclaimer, this is a brand new company, so they're largely unproven, but I do like their business model. Here, HERE is a company that buys short-term rental properties, makes them beautiful, and manages everything about them, like everything. And they raise their money in an unconventional way, rather than going the normal route of going and finding all of these investors or even just buying it themselves and leveraging money from the bank. They do a partial debt to equity purchase of the home, and they raise the money from everyday people like you and me. And you can buy into a home for as little as 100 bucks, or you can put in as much as you want up to the amount that they're actually trying to raise for the home. So you have an extra 60K, you have an extra 100K, you could invest all of that into a home. But the focus of this video is saying, look, you could get into $1 million home for as little as $1,000. This is super cool in my opinion. If you have an extra 100 bucks, an extra 500 bucks, an extra 1,000 bucks, you can get into the real estate game. You can get into the short-term rental market, which is a huge thing right now. And typically to get into the real estate game, you need to qualify for a loan. So you have to have a great credit score. You have to have anywhere from 5 to 20% of the cash ready for a down payment. So you need to have a lot of liquid cash, especially with how expensive homes are now. The amount of cash you have to have on hand to be able to purchase a home is a lot. So it's a huge commitment. It takes a long time to save up money to be able to get all of that for your down payment. Then if you buy, like say you buy a fixer-upper or whatever, you have to find contractors in that area to fix up the home, or if you're a contractor, you know how to do that yourself, you have to do it yourself. You also have to find someone to manage the property, so a property manager, or you could manage the property yourself, but then that's just more work, that's just more to do on your plate. And what here does is they do all of this. They take care of all of this. You don't even have to find the home. They find homes, and then from there you can choose the homes that they found that you're interested in investing in, and they find the property managers. They do everything for you. So it is absolutely like done for you real estate at your own price point. And the cool part is that you're actually an owner of the home. So we'll dive into that a little bit more later, but it's pretty cool. So the first question that I've got from someone else I was explaining this to is, does this get you nights in the home? And it does not. Essentially, it's not a vacation rental. You're not buying the home for your use. You're buying it strictly as an investment property. So if you wanted to use the home, you'd be able to do it. You could go rent it, but you'd be renting it at the price that everyone else is renting it for. So it's truly an investment. It has nothing to do with you being able to vacation, you being able to do any of that. It's just about, hey, I now have a piece of a home that is being rented on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, so a short-term rental. So with that, the next question I get is, how is management in terms of how is the Here team, how are they managing these properties, what are they doing? And I don't know yet, it's too early to tell, but they did send me a handwritten note, a handwritten thank you note for investing with them and investing in their property and saying, hey, like, we know we're young, we know we're early in the game, but we're excited to have you on as an investor. So that doesn't mean a lot, but that level of care and detail to be able to reach out to all of their investors, because potentially it will take hundreds of investors to be able to fund a home. With that level of detail towards their investors, even someone that invested only $1,000 like me, I'm hoping that that will turn over to how the property is actually managed for guests that come, and it's kind of spread across, it's kind of the bar, if you will, for how things are managed. So next is kind of like, what's the catch? And the biggest catch that I would say is that real estate is a long-term investment. So I invested $1,000 into a $1.1 million home in June, and I haven't seen any returns, which for me, I'm not surprised about that at all. I'm not worried about it at all. But if you're looking for something that has more like quicker returns, it's going to take some time. And it's September right now. My first payout is scheduled for February, end of Feb. But I don't even know if the property will have made enough money for a payout. So that's a whole thing. Obviously, if it's not renting or whatever, then it's just like any short-term rental property. There's no guarantee for income. But if it is, then I would get my first payout on the 23rd, which will likely be pretty small, but I wanted to run this test or this trial because the idea seems super, super cool. So I'll be sure to keep you updated on how that goes. We'll do an end of Feb video of my payouts from here if there's any. So hopefully there is. So basically, how does it work? How would you be able to invest in a home yourself? Here releases homes on a pretty regular basis. Up until now, they've released 10 homes. I believe 7 or 8 of them are completely funded. So once it's funded, you can't invest in it anymore. But right now, I believe there's 2 active homes that you can go and add, which you can go and buy shares into. So how I got involved is I found out about the company just doing research and looking up done for you real estate type things. And they said they were launching their second home and that they were doing a webinar. So I went and watched one of the webinars, and frankly, the webinar was super boring. Like, I was not impressed with the webinar at all, but the pictures of the home, everything looked really nice. It really did look really nice, and I thought the idea was super cool. And I was like, you know what, I could throw $1,000 at that, because they don't do a video walkthrough of the home, so you don't know how it really looks. But it looks good on pictures. The idea of it seems really, really great. And after the webinar, they release the home. So essentially, they try and build up hype for the home, and then they open it for investors. And you just can go put in as much money as you want. So the home that I invested in was completely funded in 12 hours, which it's pretty cool to be able to raise $1.1 million and close that round of funding in a matter of 12 hours, at least from the investor's standpoint, right? Like, they obviously had to do a lot of work to be able to get to that point, but you get the idea. So if you want to know about the next drop, basically you go onto here, you create an account, you get on their email list, and because there's homes available right now, I don't know when you're listening to this, so I don't know if there's going to be homes available, but how I find out about the new drops is through the email marketing that they do. So they'll say, hey, we have a home, and they kind of hype you up on it. They then drop an email like, hey, the webinar is going to be going on in tomorrow at this time, whatever. I can't remember the exact drip campaign, but essentially it's through their email marketing, and it was pretty smooth. So once there's a home that you want to invest in, then you can just set up your bank account, answer a few questions. That whole setup process took me about 10 to 15 minutes to get everything set up, and I was doing it as fast as I could. I don't even remember exactly what it was because I was like, I don't want this home to sell out. So I was getting everything set up as quickly as I could. Again, that took me about 10 to 15 minutes, and from there I was able to just transfer funds over to here and confirm that I bought 1,000 shares of that home or $1,000 worth of that home. So the second home that I invested in through here was super easy because they keep all of that previous information set up on their website. So I threw some extra money that I had, I think it was like $200 only. I threw that at another home, and it probably took me 2 to 3 minutes to check out and send them my money. So once you're kind of in the system, it's very easy to be able to throw more money at it. So that's all pretty simple, pretty easy, and just done on their website. So basically, once you pay, how do you know what is going on? So because you're not doing anything, like it's so hands off, you might be thinking, well, I just gave you $1,000. Like, what now? Like, what's going on? And how is my investment doing? Because you give $1,000 to the stock market, and instantly you see it either appreciating or depreciating. You know when your yields are going to get paid out, like all of that. So here has a pretty simple web application that allows you to see the homes you're invested in, how many shares you own of that home, as you would expect. So the minimum investment is 100 shares or $100. So it'll show you that. It'll show you how much you have been paid out, which I haven't been paid out anything at all. So it just shows me $0. And I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work if they put it in. I think from my research, they'll put it in my here account, and then from there I can transfer it to my bank. I don't think they do a direct bank deposit, but it seems easy enough. It shows you when you can expect your next payout, which, as I already said, it's February 23rd. From there, I don't know. I think they're shooting for quarterly payouts. I'm pretty sure. It'll also show you home appreciation. So they'll go through and look at the home on a regular basis and see if the market for that home is going up or going down. So that the home appreciation isn't realized until they sell the home. And this is where it's kind of cool, where, like I said, you're an actual homeowner. So throwing $1,000 in a $1.1 million home, if that home sells in 10 years for 1.5 million or 1.8 million, you also will take advantage not just of the short-term rental income, but of the appreciation of that home, and you'll be able to make money from that. So the other thing that it shows you that's worth mentioning is just your total return. So this will probably get more interesting. This dashboard will get more interesting when I actually start making money, and I'm very, very curious to see how it goes. The next thing that I was really curious about, and this is always important to me when I'm investing with another company, is I really want to understand how they make their money, so I understand what the fees are for me. And this is where it gets a little bit juicy, if you will. So if you're from here and you're listening to this podcast or watching this video, and you've made it this far, I have a few questions that I did try to reach out on the online chat, and I'm not sure I got the answers that I was, and I'm not sure I got an answer that I was able to clearly understand. But basically here has 2 management fees. So let me just kind of break them down. In a nutshell, the first one is a quarterly asset management fee of 0.25% based on the overall value of the property. So it seems like I'm fine with that management fee. It seems pretty low, and it seems like they want to be able to get paid out quarterly so they can stay employed and do all of that. I totally get that. That makes sense, and I'm not super worried about that. What I was curious about is they pay that out based on the value of the home. And as the home appreciates, I'm curious to know if they'll continue making money on the appreciation value of the home, a 0.25% of the appreciation value. Because if they are, to me, that's a little lame, because the rest of us investors, we don't get to realize the appreciation until the sale of the home. But here, essentially, the people working at here would be realizing the appreciation on a quarterly basis throughout however many years they're going to own the home. So that's one thing where I hope they just take their 0.25% off the base price, and that's kind of the gig. But I don't have a clear answer on that. Another thing that just popped into my head is I'm unsure how long here plans to hold on to the home. From all of my research in real estate, the ideal time is to hang on to a home for about 4 to 8 years, maybe 5 to 10, and then sell it. So I don't know if that's the plan. If it is, would love to know. Or if you have invested in here and you know the answer to this, please let me know. But I'm not sure when that appreciation will be realized for me. The second is they take a property management fee. Totally cool, totally chill. I get it. You need to take a property management fee. I'm literally doing nothing. I'm happy to pay for that. I'm happy to be involved in paying for that. But the FAQ says that they take a property management fee based on the gross revenue. So it's not clear what the fee is, and it may change per house because there's different industries, because there's different markets where potentially property management costs 30% in one area, 20% in another, and 15% in another. Like, it's all property management fees seem to be all over the place. But for the home that I invested in, I would like to be able to see what the property management fee is for that area. And I don't know if you can. I haven't been able to see what that is. So right now, I'm just kind of walking into it a little bit blind of what will the property management fee be for the homes that I bought into. Because in making this video and writing all this up, I was like, wow, this is so cool. I should throw another like 10 grand. I should throw more money at here, because really the idea of it gets me super excited, and it's really, really cool. Like, you can get into the real estate game with no headache, no management, no anything, for as little as $100. To me, that's completely game changing. I love the idea of that more people can get involved. I can get more involved in real estate in the short-term rental market. It's not a huge risk that I'm taking on because I'm only throwing $1,000 at it. But even if I was throwing 10,000, it's not like I'm taking on a mortgage from the bank where I now owe them $250,000 for a $300,000 home. It's a lower risk, which I understand. Lower risk, lower reward, higher fees, like all of that. I get all of that. This did turn me a little bit like, well, why isn't it clear how they choose their 0.25% fee, or what the management fee is for that property? And maybe they haven't found a property manager yet. There's a million things that I'm sure they're trying to figure out as a new company. But overall, I think it seems super cool, and that's why I wanted to tell you guys about it. If you're interested in getting involved in the real estate game, I think it's a pretty cool opportunity. Again, like I said, I'm invested, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. So maybe don't invest with them until the end of Feb, when I can give a follow-up on how my first 6 to 8 months went. So with that being said, if you have any questions, any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know. Feel free to reach out. I'm just learning and going through this process as well, and I'm hoping that this can be part of the cash flow that I generate on a regular basis that can add to my my $1 million a month portfolio. So thank you so much for listening and or watching this video. If you want more videos like this, please leave a like so I know that you like these type of videos, and subscribe if you want to know about when I launch my next videos. That's the easiest way. You turn on your notifications, you'll get a little notification when my next show launches. And finally, if you are building your own portfolio, I would love to hear about what you're doing. Put in the comments, reach out, and your story, everything that you're doing could help inspire me, inspire others. So don't be shy, share it, and help this growing community. And finally, as I always say, the mind is a powerful thing. So what you focus on grows. I hope you can stay focused on your goals. If you're not, refocus on your goals and commit to the activities that will be able to get you where you want to be. And also stay grounded in gratitude. Gratitude is underrated and so powerful. So that's it. See ya.